Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I am Tysheka McKinney, and I am so excited to be sharing 3 different ways that you can increase your online student engagement. Yeah. I do have 3 quick takeaways, but before we jump in too heavy, if you see me looking down, it is because I have my MacBook here and I am going to be screen sharing, and showing you all of the steps of how you can actually engage your students. So again, this is a tutorial, so you can grab your iPad or your laptop, whatever you have, and we're gonna jump right in. Our objective is that educators will learn 3 ways to increase online student engagement using Google-based products. We are going to be talking about the latest and the hottest Google Meets breakout rooms. Look, if you have already gotten your hands on it, kudos to you. My school district literally just got access to it about 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna hop into this and share some cool details that I have learned about. Also, we're gonna tap into the different ways that you can structure small groups. I know that is a hot thing. I have all of these students showing up. Kudos to you, but what do we do with them? How do we engage them? How can we structure the small groups differently to where we can tap into every single child? Also, one of the fun things, like my honest favorite thing of creating in this session, is digitizing learning. How do we take this physical textbook or this worksheet or this online document and digitize it to where it is engaging for our students? All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First, as we know, we have the key features of the infamous mute. You're muted. Okay, ignore that. Also, you can turn your camera off or on. And then we also have the raise hand feature. So when your students are in, they can go ahead and raise their hand. You will get a dinging notification to let you know that someone's hand is raised. And then of course they can also lower it as well. So as you can see, raised hands would go ahead, go to the top. You can see it, and then you as a teacher can lower it. Also, here we have our chat features. Cool thing is that you can also go ahead and turn off that chat feature if at any time you want them to focus solely on something and you don't want them chatting. Feel free to go ahead and turn that off. This icon where you have the triangle, square, and circle, this is where we're going to get to our breakout rooms. So if you click breakout rooms here, you can go ahead and set those up. The first option that you have is how many rooms you want to set, okay? Next, you can determine how much time you want them in breakout rooms. So let's say, okay, so we only want them in breakout rooms for 5 minutes. You can also shuffle the order. When you click shuffle, because it's only me on this call at the moment, you can't really see it, but let's say you have 10 students, you can click shuffle and it's going to randomly place them. Clear means that all of the students are going to go in this main call area, and it's going to clear whatever you have here in the breakout rooms area. Then you will select open rooms and it will start. As you can see, this is a notification that your students are going to get. You've been invited to join breakout room 1. You can return to the main call at any time. So they will just click join and it will take them into a breakout room. So that was really quick, short, and sweet. Now we are going to talk about the different ways that you can structure your small groups. If you are a reading teacher, you can go ahead, and this is a template here. I just grabbed some images of these doors here. And then of course you want to make sure that before you send your kids into the breakout rooms, they need to know what each one represents. So we have some choice here. And of course, that's going to engage them in itself. Now, keep in mind, this does not mean that they're not going to rotate to every breakout room. They will, but they just have some flexibility as to which ones they go to first. So next, let's go ahead and check out the math breakout room. So for those who know me, you know that I am all things math. So we have guided connections, independent practice, apply with technology, group application. Um, One thing that I definitely want to point out when you are structuring your different small groups, make sure before you share this with students that you have the exact tasks that you want them to do. That is super important. So you have your blank canvas here, right? You've grabbed your images, you know what you want to title all of your breakout rooms. You want to make sure that you have some directives here so that they can know what they're doing. So we have content related breakout rooms. And then you can also break up your students into small groups based on the house system. Hey, if you know anything about Ron Clark Academy, one of the biggest things, in my opinion, that they're known for is the house system. In my school district, we have implemented. We have house of respect, trust, courage, and friendship. So that's just a fun spin to it to get the kids just a little bit more excited about doing the work. And this is also content related, but check out the different units. So we have place value, geometry, multiplication, division. Application is just a cumulative review of all of the content. Now let's get into how you can host them. So it is two different ways. The first way is you can have one Google Meets link. To create that link, as you all can see, I had to go all the way June to next year to get a blank canvas, but you just want to come here and let's say this is breakout rooms. Okay, you want to go this way because if you go straight to meet.google.com, that's only going to give you a temporary link, and within a few hours or whenever you close it, it won't work again. So you definitely want to go through your Google Calendar after you signed in. Also, let me see here. We want this to repeat daily. And we're just going to go ahead and save that there. Okay, so after we do that, excuse me, here we go. That's what we need there, that link. Okay, so I am just going to copy this here. Let me save that. All events, yes. And we want to come here and I am going to hyperlink the door. So that is one way there. You can go through and hyperlink all of these doors and your students are going to pop into that exact same Google Meets main room, and then you can release them out into the different breakout rooms. And that's what I showed you in the first portion of this video. Just make sure when you are sharing this with your students that you are sharing the presentation mode. The quickest way to do that is to delete all of this up here, all the way up to the backslash, and just type present. When you copy that and you send out this particular link, notice that it goes to the students already in presentation mode. The one that I actually recommend, and this may be a little bit different for you, but just trust the process, it's all going to work out. So this one here is going to require 4 different Google Meet links. Okay, just stick with me. So here we already have one, right? So I'm going to make another one. Let's call this Breakout Room 2. So I already have the link for Breakout Room 1. I'm going to go grab this for Breakout Room 2. And I'm just coming here and I am going to attach it to door 2.
So now that we have the structure of our breakout rooms laid out, I've already showed you the first option. This is a second option. So essentially what will happen is all of your kids will come into the main hub. Okay, you'll do your I do, your we do, however you structure your lessons, you'll go through that. And then you'll release them into breakout rooms or i.e. your small group rooms, so you can really get specific in what you need each of them to do. Once you share this with all of your students, you want to make sure it's on present mode. And what they'll do is find their names, or if you give them some choice, they're going to click it and it is going to open this up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is operate on the teacher's end so you can see how this is going to look. So notice first thing is you have 4 different tabs. You can't see anything, okay? That is similar to how it is going to look when you have all of your kids in breakout rooms in that main hub. So we have some things called Google Chrome extension. You can just type in Google Store and enter and pop right up. The first one that I want you to download is tab Resize. You all, this is amazing. What this does is resizes all of your Google Meets tabs into 4s, or let's say you have 3 breakout rooms or small groups into 3. So for example, boom, look how that just happened. I clicked it, put in the code. Now all of these have been resized to 4 different tabs. So now I can see all of my students over here. Okay. Another thing is you don't want to hear all of these at the same time. That'll give you a little bit of a headache. So the other Google Chrome extension that I want you to download is Volume Master. So let's say I only want to listen to this breakout room here. All you need to do is tap and press it down. Here, we're going to tap, press it down, same. So here, I'm only focused here. And of course, sorry, I didn't allow it, but you can just unmute yourself and start tuning in specifically to this one. So those are the 2 Google Chrome extensions that you can check out at any time.
So far, we have went over Google Meets breakout rooms, really quick and easy. And then we've also talked about the different ways that you can structure your small groups. Biggest takeaway is that you can do one Google Meets and then you can just put them in the breakout rooms, but make sure there's a template and then you have tasks for them. Or if you want to do individualized or one-on-one, you can always, again, embed, and I have it up here for you. You can always go in and embed all of the different Google Meets link. And let's say you need to pull a small group and they need some targeted instruction, but you don't want the other ones to log off just yet. Cool, that's fine. Just turn the volumes off on each of theirs and then just tune in with that one student and say, hey, let's go over how to plot coordinate points on a plane. It's up to you, okay? So the very last thing that I want to share on how you can increase some online student engagement is digitizing learning. Now, for this particular one, I just created a lot of templates that you can feel free to use at any point, and it is organized by slide. Now, I am going to just briefly go over the 4 different ways that you can digitize learning. So first, we do have snip and paste. So if you just click slide 2, this is snip and paste. So I literally just found a worksheet online, and of course you want to make sure that you can use permission to use it, but you just snip it or screenshot it and then you paste it right here. Now, the key thing before sending this out to the students is you want to make sure that you add text boxes. This is very important because otherwise your students won't be able to put their work anywhere. So I also recommend that when you add the text boxes, go ahead and outline those so they can know, oh, okay, I don't need to do number 1 because it's red, but I need to do everything else with the blue text boxes. It's up to you. Also notice here on the side, I know a lot of time when we are using Google Slides, we always think presentation mode, which is here. It's the infamous present, and it's only presenting the things that are in frame. But consider, using up all of this space around. You can also put your directions. We want to make sure that we are not cluttering our presentation so much to where it's causing too many distractions for our students. The next one is Snip and Collab board. Okay, that's on slide 3. For this one, I just titled it Think Deeper, just for the sake of what I have here. So I just found a passage, snipped it. I have what I want the students to do here. And then you all, these are all text boxes. That's all it is. And I'm just calling it a collab board. So here I can write my name, and then I think Rosa, boom, 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 boom. And they just type their thoughts right there in the text box. What I love about this one is that the students can go and read their peers' thinking right there in the moment. And then also you can go a step further and have them add comments. Okay, I like the way you blah, 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 blah. Again, keep in mind that you do not have to use up all of this space that's in the grid. Okay, here I have things to consider. Assign a box in advance to each student. Notice how those directives are on the outside. So in the event I did want to use present mode to at least introduce what they're going to be doing in their breakout rooms, it's right here, blank canvas, neat. It's not overloaded. However, you can let them know when you go into your breakout rooms, I don't want you in presentation mode because I have some instructions on the side that I need you to pay attention to. Next, we have insert video in Collab board. Simple. You can go on YouTube, Vimeo, you can create your own teaching video, embed it. You just click insert video. And I just put in a link here. And then boom, there we have it. Again, this is just a text box. Create a Flipgrid, solving the problem. Copy and paste your video link into your text box. I have my support video. Let's see. So again, I cannot reiterate enough. You do not have to clutter the grid. Go ahead, and as you can see, here I have another idea, but it's off the grid. It's over there in that light gray area. You do not have to put everything on this main grid. Also, look, I've hyperlinked Flipgrid here. It's not even on the PowerPoint presentation itself. It's right there on the side. Okay, and lastly, we have Think Aloud and Lesson Script. So I know that lesson planning looks very different in today's time. This is just another way that we have introduced that you can do lesson planning, scripting, just everything all together. So if you look at this one here, this is what the students will see for concept development. A dentist ordered 6 boxes of toothbrushes. Each box contained 48 toothbrushes. How many toothbrushes did the dentist order? How about we consider on this side here, we have our expectations reminding us as a teacher, read the problem statement. Then we want to identify and define the connection XYZ. You see where I'm going there. So my script and my speaking points and what I want to do is right there on the side. And then also, okay, so the dentist ordered 6 boxes, boom, it's already pre-built. You can just drag it into frame. So we have 6 boxes. Let's go ahead and put a box over it. That's important, okay? So again, just remember, You do not have to start off with everything in frame automatically, but I do recommend that you pre-prep in advance and have all of that ready to go on the side. So when you are teaching your students in the moment, you can just drag it in frame with ease. Well, I hope you have enjoyed my session. Again, we have our Google Breakout rooms. You have different ways that you can structure your small groups. And then hopefully you have learned some tips and tricks on how you can digitize your learning. Have a good day.
Yeah.